Okay, so let's come to lie on our backs, and we'll start with quite a kind of lower back focus supine opening sequence. So we'll start in a front opener, and you're welcome to use a bolster or a block or nothing. You know, if you just want to lie on the floor, that's fine. We're just going to do a few minutes kind of tune in. But if you want to come into a passive front opener, if that's okay for your lower back, you could bring your bolster to the sacrum and lay your spine at the bolster, maybe with a block under the head, or you could bring your block to underneath the shoulder blades, crossways across, and lie back on your block. You can also have the block under the shoulder blades and another block under your head. Okay, so just come to lie on the floor and choose what you want to do with your legs. I'm choosing a nice space creating Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees wide. You could have feet wide, inner knees touching, or Shavasana. So any leg position here. And let's just take a few moments just to fully arrive, feel into our bodies this evening. And we were just having a little chat about the weather, as we like to do, we Brits. How the wind or the heat or whatever the weather is can affect our body and our mind. So just kind of feeling where the day has left you in terms of all the different factors, the weather, what you've been doing today, what interactions you've had, any good news, any bad news, etc. And just feeling how it's left you this evening. Noticing any sense of heightened or lowered energy. So sometimes we can just end the day feeling very sluggish and flat and hard to kind of lift our limbs from the floor, that kind of feeling. Sometimes when you lie down in stillness like this, you can also feel like a real jangly, buzzy, heightened, excess nervous energy kind of feeling as well. And then sometimes we just feel absolutely right in the middle, energized but not too much energy. We're just having a sense of your energy this evening, your mind's doing, how your body's doing. Let's just take our hands onto our side ribs, so more towards the edges of your body. Just below, in the lower ribs, lowest ribs, or just touching the bottom of your ribs and below, so kind of lower down the torso, side waists. Let's just really try to activate a full diaphragmatic breath here. So if you breathe in, just really have this sense of the diaphragm moving its whole capacity, 50 centimeters down the body. And that this is creating a strong sideways expansion. So breathing into the space underneath your hands, feeling your side bodies both expand and broaden as you breathe in. And everything kind of drawn back towards the center line, in and up as you breathe out. As you breathe in, you should have a kind of feeling of pressing, your body kind of pressing into your hands. As the torso extends, expands, broadens. The upper back and upper arms relaxed here, shoulders relaxed. Well, make sure there's a little gap between the teeth, or you're not clenching the jaw, and the buttocks are relaxed and the face is relaxed. Let's take our hands behind the back. So if you're on a bolster, you'll just have to kind of slide the backs of your hands between the bolster and your lower back, around about the sacrum or just above the sacrum. And see if you can breathe into the space underneath your hands here. So it might be like your knuckles, your tops of your hands touching your back now. And you feel that expansion. If you're really, really far down, just by the sacrum, you're not probably going to feel so much. Try and have the fingers just slightly above the sacrum if you can. And then you should feel some sense of, again, the body pressing into the hands, much more subtly now as you breathe in. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking to expand and broaden the lower torso as much as we can on the inside. So out to the side, out to the back, and out to the front. Feel that sensation with your hands. You exhale, everything's kind of moving into the center line again, moving away from the hands. And let's just release the hands, take them overhead, stretch them back. You can have a little bend in the elbows if you wish. It's like your thumbs are moving towards the floor and your little fingers are pointing up towards the ceiling, so your palms kind of face each other. And we stretch back and we just take a few more deep breaths, and we should feel quite a strong opening around the thoracic spine here, the upper back, the space behind the heart. Breathing into that space, breathing into the chest, breathing into the sternum, the solar plexus, feeling the belly stretch as you breathe in. So big opening of the whole torso here. And then exhale, bringing the hands forward. I can't see what all of your legs are doing. If you're in Supta Baddhanasana, just bringing the knees up towards each other again. Just take another breath here. And we're going to roll to one side, remove whatever support we've got under our back out the way, but just come back onto our back. I'm just going to stay supine for a bit longer and just do my current favourite sequence, actually, that I'm just finding myself doing a lot. A strap could be handy, but you've got one. It's not essential though. So we're going to keep the left leg bent. I'm going to stretch the right leg up to the air and take the strap around the foot. If we've got the strap, if we don't have the strap, we can just hold onto the back of the leg, interlace the hands around the back of the leg. Okay, so we're starting with this opening to the right leg. And I'm just feeling to do this hamstring stretch every day at the moment. It just feels good in the summer. I know we can get swollen ankles, swelling, feel the heat. It's just good to get the legs up in the air, let the blood flow the other way, and open up what can become tight hamstrings and get a bit hot and bothered and feel tense in the body. So just taking some slow deep breaths into the back of the right leg. Feeling that you're activating the foot, opening the fascia, opening the sole of the foot, drawing the toes towards the shin, or the toes towards the top of the foot, and the top of the foot towards the shin. So the heel is the highest point. And then extend the left leg away if that feels okay for your back, or keep it bent if that's better for your lower back. Just feel the extra stretch that now goes on around the left psoas muscle. You could also release the left hand, so you're holding the strap with both ends of the strap with the right hand, and reach the left arm overhead. So you've got like a long line from your left heel to your left fingertips, stretching in opposite directions. So pushing out through the left heel, pushing out through the left fingertips in the other direction, pushing up through the right heel, highest point of the right leg is the heel. And I'm going to take the right leg out to the right and the left arm out to the left. So now there's a kind of long line from the right heel to the left fingertips across the upper chest. So you can feel that fascia connection that moves through the pericardium of the heart across the chest, up both arms, fingertips, next fingertips, or even right heel to left fingertips. Maybe you can feel that the diagonal fascia line through the leg. Left buttocks on the floor, left shoulder blades on the floor, left side of the head's on the floor. And then drawing the lower belly back to the spine here. Inhale back to the center, swap your hands over, come into the opposite twist. So let your left leg be passive, let the right leg move over to the left. And now we kind of feel that facial line connection from right fingertips to left heel. If possible, let the left heel be supported, whether that's on the floor or if you happen to have a bolster or block close by, you could just, or a piece of furniture, rest your foot on that. But it's okay if it's hovering in the air as well. Try to release the right shoulder blade to the floor. And then draw that lower belly back to the spine as you inhale the leg back to the center. Release the strap, but keep it handy. And come into half happy baby. So we take hold of the little toe edge of the right foot, left hand on the thigh, or we can be holding the right ankle or the back of the knee, but we're drawing the right knee towards the right armpit. So it's wide of the torso now. Left buttock tries to stay on the floor, pushing out through the left heel, or bend that left leg if that's better. I'll just try to kind of tune into the level of flexibility, openness you've got this side, as we'll compare when we get to the other side. And then just drawing that right heel in towards the groin, lift up the left leg, and we're going to come into thread the needle. So we're kind of doing all the supine stretches at the start of the class today. Often we do these at the end. Keep the right foot flexed, take that outer right ankle onto the front of the left thigh. Left foot can stay on the floor if that's enough for you. Otherwise, we pick up the left foot, reach the right hand through that little gap under the right leg, left hand long. And we keep the right foot flexed and the left foot relaxed. And we take some slow, deep breaths here. We're going to turn it into that twist. So release the left foot to the floor and keep the shape. So we keep the right foot actively flexed. We keep all the shape of the legs in the same place, pressing the right ankle into the left thigh as we let the left leg drop out to the left. And if we hold the shape totally as it is, then the right foot should eventually just meet the floor, the sole of the right foot, with the right knee pointing up towards the ceiling. So that's what we should look like, and the left leg is totally relaxed, just the outer ankle and outer leg bent on the floor. So we're in exactly the same shape, but just turned to one side. And we can extend the arms out, fingertip to fingertip, or if it works for you, you could use your left hand to press your right thigh away from you, not towards you. And we open up the right side of the body, the right hinge, sideways, taking some deep breaths. And then again, finding that core awareness, just bringing yourself back to the center. Before we swap sides, so a stretch. So stretch out through the left heel now and draw the right knee in towards the right side of the chest. But the knee is not wide of the torso now, but it is to the right of the torso. The left side of the sacrum is still connected to the floor, left buttocks on the floor, left shoulder blades on the floor. You can also take that left arm back here as well. So you're just hugging the right knee in with the right hand and reaching left heel to fingertip on the other side. The full side body extension. Deep breaths. And then just releasing that right leg down the mat. Just take a moment, just bring the legs kind of close to each other and just feel the difference between the right foot, the left foot, the right leg, the left leg. Right hip, left hip. We'll take all of that on the other side. So this is just for me, a good sequence at the moment. So we're taking the left foot up towards the ceiling, strap around the widest part of the foot, heel is the highest point. We'll start with that right leg bent and we'll feel the difference. Spaciousness around the sacrum here with the right foot bent. So we can really work towards, we're looking towards opening the hamstring of the left leg, so especially where it attaches to the knee. So we're looking to open up the space behind the left knee as much as we're able to here. So that might mean we take the foot further forward, further away from the base, and then we can open up the back of the knee more and press the heel higher up. And then when we feel like there might be a little bit more space, then we can try and keep the knee that straight and start to draw the toes towards the back. So just explore that edge there. No force. We keep the bend in the knee if we need. No problem. Relaxing the back and the shoulders. Deep breaths. And then extend that right leg away. Hold both ends of the strap in the left hand and reach the arm, right arm back as well. Find that fascia line, left heel, right fingertips. Lovely feeling of spaciousness around the right hip. And then we're going to take the left leg out to the left and the right leg just comes out to the right. Sorry, the right hand just comes out to the right. So we've now kind of got a fascia line. It's like a diagonal through the body that's running up from the left heel at the inner seam of the leg across the groin, and then kind of goes diagonally over the front of the right chest and down the right arm to the fingertips. So I love in my practice tuning into the interconnectivity of seemingly disparate body parts through strong facial lines. And we can really drop our awareness deeply internal and start to perceive this in our bodies. How stretching more of the fingertips further to the right, and we felt all the way down the left leg, the foot really tuning, and everything's connected. And then draw that lower belly back to the spine first, prepare yourself, and then bring that leg back to the center, swap your hands over, reach the left arm out, and then again, see if we can just feel this interconnectivity as we start to take the left leg over to the right. Maybe your right elbow is a prop on the floor. Maybe the left foot can be supported somewhere. Right leg's just rolling with you. And we're releasing the left arm out to the left. So that again, maybe we can feel if we draw that left heel ever so slightly higher up towards the face, we can feel that obviously in the back of the leg, but can we also feel it in the side body more, in the lower back more, and even down the left shoulder, chest area, arm, fingertips. You can also feel this whole strong fascia line of connectivity shift and move as a whole with the breath. So we take a deep breath in, and everything expands and opens from the insides, from left fingertips to left heel. And you'll bring your lower belly in, bringing yourself back to the center. Release your strap out of the way and come straight into happy baby. If you prefer to bend the right knee again at this point, then that's absolutely fine. Holding outer ankle or outer foot or back of the knee. Right hand can encourage right buttock and hip to stay down. Anchoring down through the right leg, maybe reaching the right arm back. So right heel to right fingertips, feeling an extension here. So can we tune in to how this side feels compared to how the other side feels? Can we remember? Can we feel which side has more softness, pliability, flexibility, and which side has more resistance? Maybe which side we feel more connected to, it feels like there's more strength, and vice versa. And from here, we can bend the right leg, keep that left foot flexed, take the outer left ankle onto the front of the right thigh, thread the needle. So keep the right foot on the floor if you need, otherwise pick up the right foot, left hand goes through that little triangular gap, right hand on the outside. Deep breaths here. Relaxing the right foot. Right foot can be floppy, but left foot's active. I'm going to release the right foot to the floor. And again, we hold the shape. So the left leg stays quite active because it wants to keep this shape, wants to keep that pressure of the left ankle into the right thigh as we allow the right thigh to drop out to the right. And then the sole of the left foot eventually meets the floor, left knees pointing up to the ceiling. Reach either both arms out in opposite directions, shoulder height, or reach left arm out and use right hand to press left thigh further away from open up that left hip joint a little bit more on the left side. Breathe deeply to the space you're creating in your body on that left side, belly, waist, chest, arm. And then drawing the lower belly in, bringing yourself back to the center, come straight into the psoas stretch. So we extend the right heel out and we draw the left knee into the left side of the chest. Trying to feel kind of evenly grounded through the back, through the sacrum, through the buttocks. Then I like to just finish with a couple of symmetrical postures, so come into full happy baby. And now we really do feel the difference between the sides. And see if you can lift up the head and feel how that's going to roll you more towards the base of your spine. So the sacrum maybe comes closer to the floor, maybe even you feel like the whole of the spine to the tailbone is on the floor. And then see if you can lower the head again, but try to keep that connection. So we try to extend and open the lowest part of the spine here. And it might feel more intense in the hips when you do that. Okay. And it might mean that your knees are not as close to the ground as usual, which is absolutely fine. And then bring the soles of the feet together, keeping the knees wide, heels come in towards the groin. We're holding that outside edges of the feet if we can, or the legs, the lower legs, if we can't reach the feet. Try to, again, press the sacrum down. Make sure the back of the head is connected to the floor as well. Shoulder blades. And then we can use our hands to just bring the inner knees together and just give ourselves a hug to finish the sequence. This is my go-to summer sequence when I've not got so much energy. But want to give myself a big stretch and get the energy moving. Just breathing into your lower back. And when you're ready, we're going to roll to one side and press up to tabletop. Coming up. Hands and knees. Or trusty cat curls. Okay, wonderful for the lower back. So inhale, we lift the tailbone, we drop the belly, look up. Exhale, we activate the front body core. So we draw the belly up to the spine, draw the pelvic floor up and stretch the upper back up to the ceiling. So we activate the arms here as well, the triceps. Just keep that going. Feeling that lovely stretch on the belly as you exhale. Contraction on the belly. So as you inhale, contraction as you exhale. Slow, mindful movements. end of your next exhale, just come to a neutral spine. I'm just going to add the legs here. So as you inhale, stretch your right leg out and look up. So it's a little bit of a back bend. As we exhale, we bring the nose and the knee together underneath. Do this a few more times with your breath. So the inhale should feel very extended, especially through the front body. And the exhale very contracted through the front body. And at the end of your next exhale, just lowering that right knee and take the right foot out to the side now, toes pointing forward. So your inner right foot arch is kind of level with your inner left knee. And then we can either stay on the left hand, or if you prefer, you can come down to the left forearm. And we're just going to take the right arm up and look up. So we could be up on our left hand, or down on the elbow. And then exhale, release that right hand down, press through the right hand, and this time slide the left hand underneath the right arm towards that left foot and bring the side of the head down to the floor. So your right toes are pointing forward. If you need to, you can slide your right knee back in and just be on your knees. You don't have to have this right leg extended here. You can keep the right hand where it is, extend it forwards up on the fingertips, or inhale, stretch it up, exhale, reach it around the back towards the left hip, worry the right shoulder blade back. Keep the right leg very active, activating the inner seam of the leg, the inner arch of the foot. Feel maybe how this activates the right side of the pelvic floor when we activate the foot. And then we can release the right hand if we've wrapped it around. Press through. We're going to twist the other way. So lean into the right hand now and take the left hand up. And we'll just pause here for a breath or two. Keep that right leg extended if we can. And then exhale, release the left hand down, slide the right knee. And then when you're ready, take the left foot out to the side. And again, you can stay on your right hand underneath the right shoulder or come down onto the right forearm, elbow forearm, and then we take the left hand up and we look up. Either on right hand or forearm. Try to stay active in that left leg, toes pointing forward. Breathing into the lower back, giving ourselves a lumbar twist here. And exhale, release that left hand down. Just press through enough so that you can pick up the right hand, slide it through with the palm facing up towards that left foot. Side of the head's on the floor. Right hand can stay where it is for stability. If you feel stable, you could extend it forward up on the fingertips, or inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, wrap it back and draw the left shoulder back. And now you're going to feel it more in the upper back if you've chosen the back wrap of the arm, as well as the lower back. Use your breath, deepen this twist. Again, working with fascia. When we deep breathe in a shape, we open from the inside, all the fascia running through everything, muscles, bones, organs. And then if you've wrapped, inhale, stretch the left hand up. Exhale, press it down. Press through, and on your inhale, take the right hand up and just fold, looking up in this twisted position the other way. A couple of breaths, feeling that stretch on the inner left thigh as well, and groin. And exhale, release the right hand down, slide the left knee in. Take a wide knee child's pose. Bring the big toes together, knees wide. Extend the hips down onto the heels, forehead to the floor. Feel that opening of the spine here. Breathe into the lower back. And then pressing yourself up to tabletop again. Bring the knees back underneath the hips. Slide your legs out one at a time. Come into the plank. If plank's too much for you, just keep the knees on the floor, tabletop, but have the shoulders over the wrists if possible. We get this upper body strength, pushing the floor away, feeling your chest muscles, your pectoral muscles switch on here, strengthening around the heart. We're going to exhale, lower down. You're welcome to use the knees if you prefer, coming all the way down onto your belly, Have your hands underneath your shoulders and inhale, lift the chin and the chest just into cobra. So lots of space around the ears, shoulders moving back, pubic bone moving down, pressing down. And we're just looking to the floor so the neck stays long. And then just lower the forehead and lift the feet. So pubic bone stays on the floor, forehead stays on the floor. We just lift the feet for about a couple more breaths. And exhale, lower. Okay, from here, press through. You can either come straight up to plank or back to tabletop. And this time we're coming back into downward dog pretty much straight away. So find your way back to the downward dog shape. Your head between your upper arms looking back to your feet. Watching the feet spread and open. Feeling the fingertips spread and open. Feet parallel. Strong front of the legs. Strong thighs. Strong belly. Strong pelvic floor. Feeling gravity move the abdominal contents away from the pelvic floor so it gets a bit of relief here as well. Doesn't mean we don't activate it, but it's not having to fight gravity. And at the end of the exhale, look forward, take a walk or a step or even a jump. Bring the feet underneath the hips, parallel, hip distance apart, folding over the legs, maybe holding opposite elbow, or maybe Padangustasana, hooking the first two fingers and thumb around the big toe. We're just going to pause in the standing forward fold. A few slow, deep breaths. And then let's just add the upper back and shoulders a little bit here. So stay folded open. Stay folded over, sorry. Bring the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, and bring the hands up and over. So you're going to really feel this in the shoulders. Also maybe a little bit more in the upper back, thoracic spine. Notice what your weight distribution on your feet has done. Try to stay centered. All the four corners of the feet actively pressing down. Belly drawing up. Great. And then releasing the hands to the floor. Just from here, walk the feet out, turn the toes out, so about mat distance apart, drop the hips, come straight into Malasana squat. If available, we're bringing the hands up to the center of the chest, otherwise we're stabilizing ourselves on the floor. Breathing into the lower back. And then returning, so bringing the hands down, leaning forward into the hands, pressing strongly through your legs to lift the hips back up. Walk the feet back in to hip distance apart. Step your right foot back and bring the right knee down so we end up in the crescent moon lunge. Inhale, raise your hands up. You can keep your hands on the floor if you prefer. Otherwise, full Anjali Asana, hands up, palms touch, looking up, drawing the inner thighs towards each other, dropping the tailbone, drawing the lower belly muscle fibers in towards the spine, feeling stability at that core. Exhale, release the hands down, take the hips back, toes to the shin, take a forward fold over that left leg. If you wish, you can use your right hand to draw the toes back towards the shins. We get more of that foot fascia opening, maybe feeling it more in the lower calf. And then returning that left foot to the floor, just walk the left foot out of foot's width. Left hand comes to the inside, turn the left toes out. I'm going to keep the right knee on the floor and just allow the big toe edge of the left foot to lift off the floor. So that left knee kind of drops more out to the side. So we're kind of doing like a lazy lizard, letting that left leg drop out, keeping the right knee down. You can stay on the hands. You can start to bend the elbows, take the chin and the chest closer to the ground, maybe bringing the elbows down to the floor or even elbows onto a block if you're not quite down to the floor on lower or medium setting. So we're looking to feel this opening into the hip. So you'll feel it in the left hip, especially if that big toe edge is risen, but also at the front of the right hip. Deep hip opener. And then if you're down on your elbows, climb yourself back up onto your hands, swap your left hand and your left foot over, and let's just tuck the back knee under, come into a low lunge. If you want to use blocks either side of your foot here, you're welcome. If you've got two blocks, you can be up on the fingertips. We're very active on that back leg, so we're on the ball of the back foot, the right heel is drawing to the wall behind us, and the left knee is drawing to the wall in front of us. So we're really opening up the hinge of the body here. We're working with the hips to help with the lower back here, getting freedom in the hips. Just take one twist, take the right hand down onto a block of the floor underneath the right shoulder and reach the left hand up. If it's too much to reach the left hand up, just keep your left hand on your hip. Drawing the back leg, thigh active. Release the left hand down, step the left foot to join the right. And at this point, you can take tabletop or plank. We're going to take an inhale here. Exhale, we're going to lower all the way down to the floor. Fingertips underneath the shoulders. Inhale, use your back muscles to lift the chest, draw the shoulders back, coming to that baby cobra again. It may feel like not much, but this is a strong posture. A lot happens here to strengthen the deep, deep back muscles in the baby cobra. Make sure you're not using your hands. And then releasing down as you exhale, tuck the toes. And again, you can come straight up to plank or back through tabletop, but return to downward dog between sides. So we just take a couple of breaths between sides. Breathing into the lower back. And then when we're ready, we're going to just step the right foot forward from here. So bring the right foot forward between the hands and release the left knee down towards the floor. Keeping the fingertips on the floor if you wish, otherwise activate the legs, feel this sense of inward rising energy up the spine as we reach the hands up, palms touch, looking up. So we're not collapsing into our lower back, into our hips here. Integrity at the hinge of the body. Drawing the lower belly in, squeezing the inner thighs towards each other, dropping the tailbone. And when we do this, when we work with that integrity, it's easier to open, get a stronger opening in the front of the chest, deeper back bend if we wish. Exhale, release the hands down, come into the half split. So bring the right toes to the shin, folding over the front shin. Maybe using that left hand to draw the toes back towards the shin. Feel that intensify the sensation in the lower leg. And then releasing the right foot down and just swap your right hand and your right foot over. So the right foot goes back, foot's width wider, turn the toes out towards the right edge of the mat, and this will allow the right knee to kind of flop out already. And then we can see, is there any space here to lift the big toe edge of the right foot off the floor? So you're just kind of balancing on the blade of your little toe edge of your right foot. And then this is going to allow that right knee out even more. And then we can possibly even come down onto the block or onto the floor on our elbows, or just start to bend the elbows. And just dropping the chin and the chest down towards the floor. Some deep breaths. Trying to, it's almost like we're being a bit passive in this version of lizards. So we're almost just, we are just letting that right leg just flop out to the side of it, rather than working with stability, integrity like we sometimes do. Just to get more of a release. The same with that left leg, slowing the knee down, feeling that opening across the front of the left hip. And then climbing yourself back up onto your hands, swapping the right hand and the right foot over. Now we come back more into stability, integrity. So we tuck the back toe under, lift the back knee, feel very strong in that back leg. The right knee is above the ankle, shin vertical, and could come up on the fingertips here or blocks. Just establish this low lunge or runner's lunge. Creating space, again, the hinge of the body, the hips. And then we're going to take the left hand underneath the left shoulder, use a block if you need. Right hand can stay on right hip as you turn to the right and look up, or we stretch the right hand up. And we feel like a stacking from right fingertips above left hand, right shoulder blade above left shoulder blade. Feel a sense of spaciousness between the shoulder blades. Exhale, release the right hand down. Send the right foot back to join the left. Come into tabletop or plank here. Take a couple of breaths. Tabletop or plank, but shoulders over the wrist. Breathe fully, full diaphragmatic breath. Push the floor away with your hands. And then again, exhale to lower down, using your knees if you prefer. Come all the way down onto your belly. Don't use your hands, even hover your hands if you're not sure if you're using your hands, but try and use the back muscles just to lift the chest, the head, keeping the pubic bone down, coming into this baby cobra. Breathing deep. And then just slide the hands forward, prop yourself up higher, coming into the Sphinx. Try to keep the buttocks relaxed. So now elbows underneath shoulders, forearms parallel, fingertips spreading. Drawing the floor towards you, shoulders moving back and down. Work a little bit with cobra and kind of like locust legs as well, just to strengthen the back here. So exhale, lower yourself down again. Bring your hands back underneath the shoulders or even slightly behind the shoulders. So just a little bit further back than the shoulders. And we're just going to lift up the legs, but you can lift the head, but keep the hands on the floor, or you can keep the head on the floor. We're focusing more on the legs. And I'm just going to scissor the legs apart and together. So inhale, take the feet wide. Try to keep the feet level, and exhale, bring them together. Inhale, take them wide. Exhale together. Try to keep the toenails pointing down, not out to the side. Inhale, open. Exhale together. One more. Inhale, open. Exhale together. Exhale, lower down. Just turn a cheek to the floor, hands by the side for a moment. It can be a little bit uncomfortable on the pubic bone, these variations. If you need to use a blanket under your pubic bone, that's an option. We've got a couple more variations here. So we're kind of working with abduction and adduction, bringing the legs away and towards the center, which works the kind of internal and external hip rotators. Okay, and coming back onto our foreheads, hands again, underneath the shoulders or slightly further back. Inhale, we'll lift both feet again. This time we're just going to exhale, take the left leg out to the side. Inhale, bring it in. You can lift the head slightly, but look to the floor. Exhale, take the right leg out to the side. Sorry, inhale out, exhale in. Just keep that going. Inhale out with the left, exhale in. Inhale out right. Exhale right in. One more time each side. Feeling the abduction muscles work as you take it out to the side, the outer hip muscles, and the inner hip muscles and the inner thigh muscles work as you bring the leg in. And then exhale, lower everything down, bring the hands to the side, turn your other cheek to the floor, let the upper back relax, shoulders relax. Again, use a blanket under the pubic bone you need here. Okay, so we've just got one more. Bringing ourselves into just full locust now. So bring the hands by the side, forehead down, palms facing up. Inhale, lift everything up. So lifting the head, the feet, the hands this time. Try to keep the feet together if you can, so big toes touching. Try to keep the soles of the feet open to the ceiling. There's like an inward rotation for most of us of the legs to expose the soles of the feet to the ceiling so they don't collapse towards each other. Breathing deep. And exhale, let everything down. Try to work out which is the side of your neck that needs stretching most. So the tighter side, turn to face that way, relaxing the body. Or if you prefer, on this third one, you could just rest the back of the head, the forehead, sorry, on the back of the hands. And then when you're ready, we're just going to transition through classic balasana, knees together balasana, just to open up the lower back. So when you're ready, we'll do it as a strength exercise one more time, bringing the feet together, bringing the hands under the shoulders, lift the lower belly off the floor. So this involves an elongation of the tailbone. So you feel the lower belly fibers lift, and then press yourself back up like a reverse press up, and then come back to child's pose. So we've got the knees together this time, stretching the arms out in front, breathing into the lower back. So we seem to be staying quite close to the ground this evening. We will come up a little bit higher now. But sometimes when we're working with the lower back, it's nice to be a bit more supine, a bit more floor-based. But we will use the legs now. Okay, so when you're ready, we're just going to come up to downward dog as a transition. So just find your way up, sending those hips up and back, extending through the arms and the spine. And then at the end of your next exhale, look forward and take a big step forward with the right foot, but then immediately turn to face the long edge of your mat. So we're still not coming all the way up. So we're folded over and we're in wide leg forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. So we've got all 10 toes pointing forwards, and then we're dropping the crown of the head to the floor. And just feeling like a release through the torso. So the legs are now strong. These are our pillars of support, lifting on the inner arches, the inner seams of the leg. Allowing the spine to kind of drop towards the floor. And then just really tune into your sacrum here, your lower back. It's flat at the moment, more or less, you know, varying apart from any asymmetries in our body. Let's try to keep it as it is, like you could serve a cup of tea off it. And we're going to just straighten the arms, look up, and walk the hands over, both hands over towards the right foot. So if you can, holding onto the right leg, wherever you can reach it, above the knee, below the knee, the ankle, the foot, whatever you can reach. And then just drop the head towards the right knee, but see if you can tune in to what's happened to your lower back. Often what happens here is that we just totally drop the left knee, the left hip. Not all of us, but many of us kind of collapse in the left hip. So it becomes a bit of a twist in the pelvis. And we're wanting to keep the pelvis kind of stable as it is, neutral, and just move the torso over to the right. So it might mean that you have to kind of hug in the right hip a little bit and lift the left hip a little bit. Explore that sensation in your body. You can discern. And then we're going to inhale, straighten the arms and look up. And we're going to try to stay level in the sacrum as we pass back through the middle, maybe taking a breath in the middle, and then walk the hands over to the left. So again, we're trying to just glide without moving the sacrum, the torso to the left. And we're holding onto the left leg or foot or ankle or whatever we can find here. And we're drawing our head in towards the left knee. But we're trying to still be able to serve breakfast off our lower back, like a flat surface here. So, as I say, explore. For most people, this probably means hugging in the outer left hip a little bit, lifting the inner right hip, so we don't collapse in the right hip. But that might not necessarily be your way with this. Breathing deep. And then inhale, straighten the arms, look up, walk the hands back to the middle. And as we did before, just before we come up, we're going to add the shoulders. So the legs have to work harder here. So really activate the inner seams of the legs, bring the hands to the lower back, interlace the fingers, and then bring those arms up and over, maybe even forward. So feeling that same shoulder stretch, upper back stretch here. Legs, pillars of support. And then bring your hands back to your lower back, onto the hips. Inhale, raise your torso to be parallel with the floor. Take an extra breath here. Really use your core control in your pelvic floor here. And then on your next inhale, slowly coming up to stand. And we finally made it to standing. Okay, so we'll just do a standing posture, things we're here, and then we'll probably come back down again quite soon. Okay, so let's do Trikonasana. So again, working to free the hips to help free the lower back. So we'll turn the left foot in and the right foot out, and the hips don't move. Inhale here, exhale, slide the torso to the right. Right hand comes down, left hand comes up. Just feel this is a real opening around the hips, and also that side body, that left side body. Feel like somebody's pressing their finger into the crown of your head, and you're pressing back against their finger. And this can help extend the sides of the neck, extend both sides of the torso away from the hips. Sense of pressing the crown of your head into somebody's finger. And inhale, coming up, leading with the left hand. We'll just go straight to the other side. Then right foot in, turn left foot out, hips don't move. Inhale, exhale, slide the torso to the left, hand comes down, right hand comes up. We try not to just dump and collapse all our hand into that left wrist. There's an activation in the core. And also again, see if you can feel that sense of pressing the crown of your head into an imaginary finger, pressing against your head. And feel this extension of your torso out to the left. Gives it more activation from that internal midline. Lift the inner arch of the right foot and spread the toes. And we activate the feet, we activate the pelvic floor, deep core. Press down through the big toe edge and big toe pad of the left foot. The inner arch. Maybe your breath deepens. And then inhale to come up. And just turn that left foot in, step the feet together. Let's take a balance. And then we'll come down. So balancing, coming into the tree, just a nice classic balance here. Balancing on the left foot first, sliding or bringing your right foot up the inner seam of the left leg and pressing your right heel actively into the inner left leg. And so this active adduction creates stability. Feel it, this energy again like a fountain coming in together and up through Sushumna Nadi or the spine. Palms together at the center of the chest, and then inhale, raise up through that midline, hands above the head, open the hands wide, wider than the shoulders, dynamic, extended fingertips, belly drawing in, stable gaze. Your tree's wobbly like mine is this evening, just find a steady gaze. If you wobble and fall and come out, that's fine, just come back in. To have a sense of expansiveness here. Fingertips, toes, right knee, crown of the head. Inhale, palms touch above the head. Exhale, hands back to the center of the chest. Inhale. Exhale, Tadasana. Feet together, hands by the side. Samasthiti. And then the same on the other side. So just feeling your right foot, feeling your right leg, picking up your left ankle or sliding the left foot up the right inner seam of the leg. And again, find that active adduction, fountain for energy rising up the spine. Now up through the midline, hands above the head. Open the hands, wider than the shoulders. Try not to hunch the shoulders around the ears, with extending dynamically up through the fingertips, but the shoulders are going in the opposite direction, down towards the floor. This is what creates real energy in the arms, extension. Actively adducting the feet. Very wobbly this evening. And then when you're ready, inhale, palms touch above the head. Exhale, hands to the sternum. Inhale, breathe. Exhale, release. Back to the mountain pose. Hands by the side. Just enjoy both feet on the floor for a moment. Feel the stability of the mountain pose. It's a pose in its own right, posture in its own right. Feeling that integrity of your body and the alignment, ears, shoulders, hips, and ankles in line. And we're going to come down onto our knees and we'll just do a gentle back bend to begin with. So coming to a kneeling position. And again, it's so hot here in Portugal that I'm just taking everything a bit more mellow with my practice. And this is one of my favourite back bends at the moment. So it's just less intense. So we've got the hips on the heels and the hands maybe 10 centimetres or so behind. And it's like a half camel. So we just lean into the hands and lift the hips up. Try to keep the inner thighs moving towards each other. We can drop the head all the way back if it feels safe to do so and comfortable in our upper shoulders, or we can just keep the chin tucked all the way in. We're still getting that lovely opening in the front of the chest, but you can feel there's way more spaciousness around the lower back than there is in the full camel. So just breathe into that spaciousness. So it's like you get the full front body opening, but less of the compression. And then exhale, slowly lower the hips down. Bring yourself up to a kneeling position. Vajrasana. Just bring your hands onto your thighs for a moment, and let's just find that neutral spine. So it can be tricky in the kneeling to not come into the lordosis, which I'm showing here, where we lose all core control because we overarch the lower back. So we want to keep that neutral pelvis, as if there's water in the pelvis, it's not going to spill. And this is going to help us just neutralize the spine after the back bend as well. So this is a classic meditation posture. So just try to, for a moment, find that kind of sense of stillness, of breath connection, maybe closing the eyes, just feeling the subtleties of your pelvic position here. Freedom in your lower back. That's what we're looking for, freedom in space and core connection. We'll just come down onto seat. So just bring the hips to one side, bring the legs forward. We'll just counter the back bend, so taking the legs out in front of us. Finding Dandasana, the star pose. So hands can be on the thighs or just on the floor either side of the hips, but we're rolling the shoulders back and down. We're scooping the lower belly in and up. Again, we're kind of rooting down through the tailbone, lifting up on the pelvic floor and slightly drawing the chin in towards the chest. So working with our, again, Sushumna Nadi, our central energy column here, which kind of represented on your top, Nikki. The chakras down Sushumna Nadi. That subtle energy kind of epicenter, motorway, energy highway. Breathing up and down Sushumna Nadi. And then we're going to inhale, extend the fingertips up towards the ceiling. And exhale, Paschimottanasana. So just bring the hands forward to the feet or to the legs and drop the head. And breathe into the lower back, taking a nice spinal opener, lower back opener after the compression. If you prefer, if your lower back's super tight and you want to work more actively, you could keep the knees bent and you could keep the spine straight and try to keep the chest more open, and you'll still get the hamstring stretch, but more with this activation of the lower back. Otherwise, we're going more for the passive, dropping the head and rounding the upper back as well. Breathing deep. And then inhale to come up. We'll take the opposite, just a very energizing posture, Purusvartanasana. So we'll bring the hands behind us. You could do reverse tabletop instead of Purusvartanasana with the legs bent. Otherwise, legs straight, lean into the hands, draw the shoulder tips forward, press through the hands, lift the hips, and inwardly rotate the feet so the big toes touch down. We drop the head all the way back if it feels safe to do so, or keep the chin tucked in. And we're really focusing on lifting the hips here. And breathing as deep as we can into the front body. It's an intense posture. I don't need to stay here long. Exhale, slowly lower the hips. So you're using your hands as your control. Bring yourself back up to vertical in the spine. Take a moment. Okay, so we've already made this shape. We did thread the needle lying on our back. So we're going to make the same shape but seated. So it's like a seated pigeon. So we're going to flex the right foot and take the outer right ankle onto the front of the left thigh above the knee, just like we do in Thread the Needle. And the hands are supporting us. So it's like we're just like chilling at the beach, we're just leaning back a little bit. There's a little bit of a prop feeling in the arms. And then we're going to just see what it's like to bring the sole of that left foot to the floor. It can still be quite far away from the buttocks, just because we want to feel into this. So we're in control. Particularly listen to your right knee. If the right hip's tight, then it's going to transfer into that knee, and we don't want to injure the knee. So that's going to be your guide about how far you go. If this is all feeling fine, you can bring the foot closer, or the other thing you can do is take the buttocks closer to the heel, but one way or the other, we're bringing the buttocks and the heel closer together. And the other thing we can play around with is where our arms are. If we want to be more spacious, and we take the arms further back and the foot further forward. If we're not feeling enough, we bring everything further in. So we can walk the hands in, we can walk the buttocks and the heel close together. And if we're really not feeling anything, if we're quite open, then we can kind of turn the hands the other way and bring the torso right up to actually, so the chest touches that front leg, that right leg. Keep this right foot flexed, this right foot's active. So we can either be like super concertinaed, concentrated, small, or we can be like really extended and anywhere in between. We find the place that's right for us. We're looking for the stretch around the right hip, outer right hip, but ideally we're not looking to feel it too intensely in the right knee. Maybe we feel it a little bit, but if there's shooting pains, that's too much. Come back, come out. Breaths. Now, only if you feel really stable here. If you feel like if you took one or both hands off the floor, you'd collapse, or one hand off the floor, you'd collapse, and just stay here. If you feel like if you took your right hand off the floor, you could still stay supported. We're going to lean into the left hand, take the right hand off the floor, and there's different things we can do here. We can just kind of hold onto that left knee and lift up and come into a twist, kind of an open twist to the left here. If it's available, for some of us, we might bring the right elbow to press against the flex sole of the right foot and lift up from here with the palm facing forward. Okay, so this might all get more intense around your right hip. And again, if it's too much for that knee, just come out, stay straight on. You don't need to do this twist. We're trying to lift out of the spine, try not to have that dumping, collapsing feeling into the left hand. Nice, well done. Okay, and then unravel, come back to the center, just release, and maybe just extend both legs and just the legs a bit of an in and out shake, just shake all that out. And then let's do the other side. So we'll start with the right leg straight. We'll flex the left foot, and we're going to keep that flex throughout. It's above the knee, and the toes are kind of pointing in the direction of the right foot. So we keep it flexed like that. And then we just come onto the sole of the right foot, but all quite open, hands probably quite far behind us to begin with, right foot quite far in front, and then we just explore, we just feel into our body. It's like to bring everything in a bit, the hands in a bit, the foot in a bit. Feeling anything, maybe more, maybe we can even lift the hips, scoot the hips forward and place them down, and right behind that right heel. Maybe we turn the hands the other way around and lift up through the front body, so the torso touches the left leg, the left foot still flexed. Find your spot, and then we can stay here, or again, after a few breaths, we can explore that twist. So we're going to have to lean into the right side, so you might need to take it back a little bit to find the stability. And at first, maybe we just hold on to that left knee and use that as something to help lift up through the spine. And then from there, we might be able to press the left elbow or the upper arm into the sole of the left foot. The left foot needs to stay really flexed so it can kind of resist and press back against the arm. And it's that pressure, that kind of pressure point that initiates the twist. You push the elbow against the foot, resist with the foot, and this can create a twist into the spine and the fascia, the upper body. Looking towards your right side, over your right shoulder. Try to keep lifting up through the spine, not that sense of rounding in the lower back and collapse in the lower back. Very nicely. guys. And then unraveling, turning to the front, both hands down, release the legs forward, just a little bit of it in and out with the legs, shake it all about. And then let's come to Supta Baddha Konasana, or just Baddha Konasana, sorry. I told you my brain wouldn't be working properly tonight. Okay, so soles of the feet together, knees wide. It's very, very hot in this room, isn't it? And lifting up through the spine, rolling those shoulders back and rolling the chest forward through the upper arms. Lifting up through the spine, slightly drawing the chin in, slightly drawing the lower belly in. And maybe close the eyes. We don't need to bounce here. Just like trust and gravity. Those inner thighs, those inner groins, they release. Ready? Up before. So we have been doing lower back work this evening, even though we've been doing a lot of hip work. This is all, as you can imagine, so connected. We open and free the hips, the hip joints, sacroiliac joints, the sacrum, and this all helps to free and stabilize the lower back. And from here, just hands to the outside of the knees, bring those thighs together, wrap your forearms around the knees, drop your forehead or your chin to your knees for a moment, just take a couple of breaths. Let's just do one boat on our way down, just for extra stability. Front body stability is preventative of lower back pain. Okay, so the more connected we are to our core, the less issues we begin to have in our lower back. So holding onto the backs of the knees, lifting out through the lower back, drawing the lower belly in, leaning back, extending those legs, maybe just lower legs parallel with the floor, maybe straightening the legs up, palms face each other, or we can continue to hold the back of the knee and then just commit to 5 slow deep breaths. That's 1, full breaths, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower down with control. Try to let the heels and the shoulders come down at the same time, more or less. And just take a moment, just relax everything. We're going to take one more back bend. We'll take Setu Bandhasana. We're bringing the heels into the buttocks. Feet parallel. Try not to let the toes turn out. Press through the hands and the feet. Lift those hips. Interlace the hands underneath the back. So you really roll those shoulders and the upper back underneath you. Press down through the whole of the soles of the feet, all 4 corners, lifting the inner arches, lifting the hips, pressing down through the little fingers and the outer wrists. And just for a moment, for the last few breaths, just release the bind underneath your back and bring the fingertips to point up towards the ceiling, just palms facing each other just outside of your torso, and press down with your upper arm and your elbows. So there's this real like pressing down with the upper arm, and that just might help you just get a little bit more sense of lift and dynamic lift, opening the front body, and then slowly exhale, lower the spine down from the upper back down to the lower back. Take the shoulders towards the top of the mat, the whole of the skin of the back's on the floor. Extend the legs straight up into the air, reach the arms overhead, capital L shape in your body, reaching out through the fingertips behind you, reaching up through the heels, opening the back of the legs. Bend the knees, bring the hands forward, give yourself a hug, breathe into the lower back. And we are ready for Shavasana. So maybe just bring the head up to meet the knees. One last little squeeze. And then when you're ready, extend those legs. Arms away from the side. Arm faces up. Relax the jaw, the teeth. Let the eyes just roll back in their sockets, the eyes closed. sure all of the skin of the back and the buttocks, the sacrum is connecting to the floor. Soften the calves, soften the thighs, soften the belly. Relax the whole body. And just got a couple of minutes here to drop. By all means, feel free to stay here for longer. Stay. And to close with me, reach the end of the class. When you feel ready, just deepen your breath. And little movements. Stretches that feel good. Gradually, in your own time, return to seated and just close together. Bring your palms to touch at the center of the chest. Maybe closing the eyes for a moment and just consciously closing your practice in a way that's meaningful to you, perhaps a moment of gratitude for your practice, for your body, your back, the people in your life, nature, whatever you're grateful for. Reflecting on your gratitude, just harnessing the fruits of your practice, channeling them inwards for your highest good, outwards. That's again.